hope you are all doing well. So, the final countdown has begun with just a few days left in your maths exam. And trust me, this last few days can either make or break your score. But don't worry, PLCC have got your back. So, in this video, I'll explain you the easiest chapter of your maths. So, sharpen your pencils, stay focused, and let's learn this exam like a pro. In chapter 1, the very first question says to express the given number as product of its prime factors. So, simply you just have to take out the prime factors of the number and just write down the answer like that, okay? And just make sure that you write the statement like that and don't just leave your answer here, because they want is in this format and maybe your marks will be deducted. So our next question says to find the LCM and HCF and then verify their relation. So first of all, here we are given two numbers of which we have to find LCM and HCF and then we'll verify the relation. So first we'll find the factors of both the numbers and we'll write it as we done in first question. Then we'll find HCF and LCM. How to find it? HCF are the numbers which is common between both of them. Here 13 is common, so we have written 13. Now suppose if there are two numbers or more than two numbers common in both the given numbers, suppose here 13 and 3 is also common. So suppose 3 and 13 are the two numbers which is common between the given two numbers. So we'll take product of 3 and 13 together. I hope I'm clear. Then we'll write rest of the numbers in LCM. The numbers taken as common. So we have taken 13 as a common, so we'll multiply it with that. And if 3 was also common, so we'll write 3. I hope I'm clear. Then we'll take the product and here's our LCM and HCF. Then we'll verify the relation. And I hope you all know that HCF and LCM of two numbers is always equal to the product of the given two numbers. So here our HCF is 13, our LCM is 182. So the product of HCF and LCM is equal to the product of given number, and at the last we'll write hence proof. And this is how you have to perform this question. I hope I'm clear. So moving to next question. So here I am with the next question. So the question says us to prove any number which is in root as irrational. So here we have taken example of root 5. So the question says that we have to prove root 5 as irrational number. I don't know why students find it very tricky, but it's so easy. Let me simplify it for you. But before, there's a disclaimer that please don't write just this in your exam. Okay, this is just for your explanation. I have removed all the theoretical part of this answer, but you have to write the theoretical part. Okay, so let's begin. First of all, we'll use contradiction method to prove this question. Okay, so what's contradiction method? Contradiction method says that if anything is true, we'll assume that it's false. Okay, so as we know that root 5 is irrational, but we'll assume that root 5 is a rational number. This method is known as contradiction method. We know that every rational number can be written in P upon Q form, so we have written root 5 in the form of P upon Q. And also we have assumed that P and Q are co-primes, which means that P and Q both have just 1 as their common factor. Means co-prime numbers are that numbers which has no other common factor than 1. Okay, so we'll do squaring both the sides, and LHS as well as RHS. We have done square here, we have done square here. So square of root 5 is 5 only, and P upon Q whole square is P square upon Q square. Moving forward, I have shifted this Q square from the denominator to the numerator of the LHS and formed the equation 1. I hope I'm clear. Then one thing we have noticed that if we multiply any number Q with 5, it will give you P square. What does it mean? That P square is divisible by 5. If P square is divisible by 5, then P is also divisible by 5. Which means that if we multiply any number K with 5, we'll give you P. Hope I'm clear. Then we'll put the value of P in equation 1. Here's P square. So we have done 5K square. 5 square is 25 and K square is K square. Then the 5 here was in multiply, came here in divide. So the next equation formed is 5K square is equals to Q square. From here we have noticed another thing, that if we multiply any number K with 5, will gives you Q square, which means that Q is also divisible by 5. But it says that our assumption that P and Q are co-prime is wrong. Why? Because co-prime numbers are that numbers which have only 1 as their common factor. But the question says that 5 is here also and here also. 5 is common between P and Q, which contradicts our fact. And so we conclude that root 5 is an irrational number. I hope I'm clear with this. And yeah, you have to write whole theory of the question. If you want how to write the answer with all the theory, please comment below. And yeah, with this question we are done with chapter 1. So moving forward to chapter number 2, polynomials, the shortest chapter of the syllabus. So first of all, let me tell you what is a quadratic polynomial, because in this chapter we are talking about only quadratic polynomial. So quadratic polynomial is a polynomial whose degree is 2. Degree means highest power of any equation. So every polynomial whose degree is 2, that is highest power is 2, is a quadratic polynomial. Moving forward, a quadratic polynomial is always written in the format of ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b and c are some numbers, okay, and x squared and x are always variables. For you. The question number 1 says to find the zeros of the polynomial. Here we have find the zeros of the polynomial alpha and beta. Also to verify the relation between the sum and product of the zeros. So we have done that. Let me explain you one by one. So I have not taken the first question, okay? I have taken the third question because there is a twist between that. The question says 6x squared minus 3 minus 7x. So it's not properly arranged in the standard form. You have to arrange it in standard form. As I have told you previously, that a is always the coefficient of power 2 variable. So the coefficient of power 2 variable is 6. B is always the coefficient of power 1 variable. And 3 has no variables. 3 here is a constant term. So 3 is C, minus 3 is C and minus 7 is B. Got it? So then you have to arrange it in standard form, which will become 6x squared minus 7x minus 3. Then you have to do split in the middle term. I hope you know how to split in the middle term. If you want to know, then please comment down. So here I am explaining you in very brief that split minus 7x in two numbers, which will, when we multiply the two numbers, will equal to the product of 6 and 3, that is A and C, and its subtraction, its difference is equals to the middle term. I hope I am clear because I am explaining in very brief, but if you want to know about splitting, please comment down. I'll make a separate video for that. So we have split it minus 7x as minus 9x plus 2x. Minus 9x plus 2x will give you 7x. Then from here we are having 4 terms. So in this 4 terms, we'll take first 2 terms and take common from that, and we'll take common from the last 2 terms. So from the first 2 terms, the common is 3x, and the rest we'll write in bracket. From the last 2 terms, we have nothing common. When we have nothing common, we take plus 1 as common. And make sure that the signs match, the sign of the numbers match with this second bracket. If signs are not matching with the numbers is matching, then you'll take minus 1 as common. I hope I'm clear. So then we'll write the common brackets once and the rest of the number in one bracket. So here we are having 1 and 2 brackets. Then put both the bracket individually equals to the 0. 3x plus 1 equals to 0 and 2x minus 3 equals to 0. 8 equals to 0, we gives the value of as minus 1 upon 3, and another value of x will be 3 upon 2. So one is alpha and the second is beta. Okay. Then we'll verify the relation. We are complete with the first part of the question. Then the second part is to verify the relation. What's the relation? Always alpha plus beta is equals to minus b upon a, and alpha into beta is c upon a. So we have written, and under this we will solve the question. Alpha minus 1 upon 3, beta minus beta 3 upon 2 equals to we have just put the value in the equation. Here I was lacking the space, that's why you may found it very clumsy, but I hope you understand that we have just put the value of alpha, beta, b minus b, a, alpha, beta, c and a. Okay. Then please make sure that here in the formula is also minus, here is minus b. So 1 minus is of the formula and 1 minus is of 7. Please don't confuse. So that's why we have to put bracket. When the bracket will be open, minus will become plus, and so our 7 is positive. Okay. Here they are unlike fraction, so we'll do cross multiplication. So it of the first equation gives you 7 upon 6, and RHS also gives you 7 upon 6. The LHS of second equation gives you minus 1 upon 2, and RHS also gives you minus 1 upon 2. Let me again clear you. This and this will not be equal. They may be equal, but they are not compulsorily equal. Okay. The first equations LHS and RHS should be equal. The second equations LHS and RHS should be equal. They both don't have to be equal. Okay, because sometimes students complete this, but they get confused that they are not matching. So they are not matched. You just have to equal this, and yeah, you are done with the question. At the end, right hand is verified and you are completed. Second question says to form a quadratic polynomial from the given sum and product of the zeros of polynomial. Again, I am repeating that 0 and root 5 are not alpha and beta. They are sum of alpha beta and product of alpha beta. Also, I have taken third question because students find that if a root number will come, it's very difficult. But it's not. Okay. So, alpha plus beta is given 0 and alpha into beta is given minus. We know that x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha into beta. Just put the value. Alpha and beta is 0 and alpha into beta is root 5. Put the value. The term multiplies x with 0 and multiplying any number with 0 will give you 0, and that's why we have not written it in the answer. But if you write it here, you complete the question here only, there's no problem, no issue. Okay, but I have written this it as because 0. So here's the answer, and we are completed with our chapter number 2. So here's chapter number 14. First of all, we'll see the theoretical part of the chapter. So the very first thing is experiment. What does an experiment means? This question may come in objective. An experiment or trial is any procedure that can be infinitely repeated and has a well-defined set of possible outcomes. Experiment. What is an experiment? Any trial. Okay. Anything which is being tried is known as experiment. Any action done. Okay. A coin tossed, a die roll, and everything is an experiment. What is an animal experiment? When the possible outcomes are known, that if we toss a coin, we know either heads will come, either tails. If we screw a die, then we know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are the possible outcomes. But which outcome will come, we don't know. Same with cards. Okay. Event is the possible outcome. Okay. We are given the question will give us a case, and whatever the possible outcomes will be there will become an event. Then equally likely outcomes. What are equally likely outcomes? Every outcome have their probability equal. Like if we scroll a die, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Each of the 6 number have equal probability, that is 1 upon 6. Like any number can come from them. So every number has equally likely chance to occur. So this is known as equally likely event. Then sure event. What is a sure event? Whose probability is 1. That means that event will surely come. that suppose if the case is given that find the probability when we scroll a die that the number will be less than 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Every number are less than 7, so the probability will be 1. That is 6 upon 6 will give you 1. Then impossible event. What is an impossible event? The probability of the event is 0. That means which will never occur. Suppose the question says that find the probability when scrolling a die will give you a number more than 7. So it's not possible because every number are less than 7. So the probability will be 0 upon 6, which will give you 0. This was impossible event. Then we have the most important thing written here, that is first probability of how to read it. Probability of event is equals to number of favorable outcome upon total number of outcome. I'll show you how to do the question also. So this is the formula of probability, number of favorable outcome. Whatever are the favorable outcome upon total number of outcome. Suppose we in the question we are given that we have to find the probability of any number occurring on the die when scrolling is the number should be even. Okay. So what are the even numbers on the die? 2, 4 and 6. Yeah. So 1, 2 and 3. Number of favorable outcome will be 3 upon total number of outcome. What is the total number of outcome? That is 6. I hope I am clear. Moving forward, we have how to read it. Probability of event plus probability of not event is equals to 1. Always the probability of any event plus probability of not occurring of the event is 1. Suppose that, let me explain you the example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so these are the possible cases which can occur when you scroll a die. Also, this is known as sample space. Let me clear you. So the sample space when scrolling a die is it. Even numbers are this. Okay. So what's the probability of occurring an even number, which is 3 upon 6? And what's the and this. These three numbers are odd, which will not occur in even numbers. So its probability is also 3 upon 6. When we add them, it will give you. 3 plus 3 upon 6, that is 6 upon 6. What 6 upon 6 is 1. So probability of even plus probability of not even is always equals to 1. So this is known as complementary event. So in the questions you may face words like at least and at most. So at least means kam se kam and at most means zyada se zyada. For an example, if in the question they tells you that if we toss 2 coins, what's the sample space? If we toss 2 coins, that is heads and heads. Okay. So the question says that if we toss 2 coins together, what's the probability of occurring at least one head? Okay. So at least one head means 1 and more than 1 will be considered. Here more than 1 head are coming, so it will be considered. Here in next case 1 head is coming, it will be considered. Here 1 head is coming, it will be considered. Here no head is coming, so it will not be considered. I hope I am clear. Then if the question says at most 1 head, which means just 1 and less than 1. This concept says more and equal, and this concept says less and equal. Okay. So here what will be considered? Let's see. So the question says that at most 1 head means less than 1 head and equals to 1 head. Here more than 2 heads, so it will not considered. Here 1 head, it will be considered. Here 1 head, it will be considered. Here 0 head, which will be considered. Because less than 1, 0 is also less than 1. I hope I'm clear with at least and at most. Then you will face questions of coins, dice and cards. There are 52 cards in a deck of cards. If you want to know more about cards, comment down. Then dice, they'll ask you either about 1 die. So scrolling 1 die will give you total number of outcomes is 6, and scrolling 6 square, which will give you 36. Okay. Coins, if you toss 1 coin, it will give you 2 total number of outcomes. If you toss 2 coins, then it will give you 2 square, which is 4 as total number of outcomes. If you toss 3 coins, it will give you 2 cube, that is 8 as the total number of outcomes. I hope I'm clear with this, and now I'll show you one question. Now let's see a question. So I have taken question number 8 of your exercise because this question uses both the formulas in the chapter. Okay. So the very first, please read question number 8. Let me also read. A bag contains 3 red balls and 5 black balls. A ball is drawn at random from the bag. What is the probability that the ball drawn is red and not red? So I hope you understand the question. So very first thing you have to do in the question of a probability, that write the total number of outcomes. Okay. Instead of writing directly 8, I have written 3 plus 5, which will clear that we know that how 8 came. Okay, like red ball, number of red ball plus number of black balls. So total number of outcomes are 8. Then we'll write the formula of probability. Now listen to me carefully. If in the question they say to find probability of more than one events, okay, so you have to write the formula only one time. Every time you not have to write the formula. Just write the formula once in the starting, then you have to not write the formula. Then we have written the formula of probability, then we'll find the first question. Okay, the first they have asked to find is the probability of a red ball. So then you don't have to write total number of outcome and the formula every time, but you have to write number of favorable outcome each time. Okay, because every time number of favorable outcome will be changed, and if total number of outcomes are changing, then you have to write it. Okay, so number of favorable outcome, how many red balls are there? 3. So number of red balls are 3, so number of favorable outcomes will be 3. Then we have written probability of red ball. At the place of E, I have written the name of the event, that is a red ball. Then I have put in the value in the formula, and here's our answer. The first part of the question is done. Then the next part, not a red ball. So there are 2 ways to find the probability of not a red ball. That you can either find the probability of black ball, because if not red ball, then black ball. But instead of doing this, we'll use another formula, which we know. Probability of event is probability of not event is equals to 1. So probability of occurring a red ball plus probability of not occurring a red ball is 1. So probability of a red ball plus probability of not a red ball is 1. We have put in the value 3 upon 8, and we have just put in the value. Then 3 upon 8 was in addition here, it will go in subtraction. Okay, then after 1 minus 3 upon 8, we'll get the answer 5.8, and we are done. Because students know the formulas, but they don't know how to write the question of probability. So I request you to please take a screenshot of this, so that you know how to write the answer and how to present it. We have written the question, and with that we are done with the probability chapter. Number 4, quadratic equation. So we have already discussed that any quadratic equation is always in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. And in the question number 1, we have to check whether the questions are in the quadratic polynomial or not. So you just have to solve the question and see that if the question is in the format or not. If it's satisfying this, then yeah, then no. Otherwise, no. Then the question says to factorize a quadratic equation. So first let me tell you, what does factorize mean? Factorize means to taking out the factors of any number, right? If I say that 3 and 2 are the factors of 6, it means the product of 3 and 2 will give me 6, right? In the same way, we have to factorize any quadratic equation. We have to take equations whose product is the given equation. You just have to do splitting the middle term. If they say to factorize, you just have to do splitting the middle term, and don't find the value of the roots. Those 2 brackets are the only answers. Okay. In chapter number 2, we have discussed splitting the middle term. That's why I'm not showing it here. But you don't have to find the value of the roots, the value of alpha and beta. You just have to listen. There are so many ways to factorize any equation, but in your syllabus, there's only 2 ways: splitting the middle term and quadratic formula. Okay, so you can look forward to quadratic formula. So how will you find the value of x? Either by you can split the equation and find the value of x. But if in the question, if it's written that you have to use only quadratic formula, then you have to use only quadratic formula. If it's not mentioned, you can either find the value of x through quadratic equation or by factorization. Okay. So what does quadratic formula say? X is equals to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Okay. Keep in mind that quadratic formula is complete when LHS and RHS both are written. You don't just have to write the RHS. RHS is also necessary. Then how will you find 2 values? Once you will put the formula with minus and one with 1 plus. I'll show you how to do the question. Then discriminant. What is the discriminant? The value written under root. This is known as discriminant. B square minus 4ac. Why is it used? The discriminant is used to find the nature of roots. Whenever the discriminant is greater than 0, okay? Discriminant जब 0 से बड़ा होता है, then 2 roots will come. We know already 2 different real roots will come. Means the value of both the roots will not be equal. If the value of discriminant b square minus 4ac is equals to 0, then you will get 2 equal roots. Means the same root as the first. Alpha and beta will be equal, will be same. Okay. And if they say that the value of discriminant is less than 0, means any number which is less than 0, then there will be no real roots. Less than 0 means any negative number. If you get the discriminant in negative, then there will be no real roots, and in this case you don't need to find the roots because you can't. Okay, your textbook teaches only to find the real roots, and the most important case is this second one. They will say you says to find the nature of roots, and you use this. Okay, if your discriminant is greater, then you write the equation will have two different real roots. If your discriminant is 0, then write two equal real roots. If your discriminant is less than 0, then just simply write no real roots. Okay. If the roots are real, then you have to find it. Okay, it's mentioned there are real roots. So if these two cases came, then you have to find the roots. Okay, how will you find? By putting the value in this formula. Then the last question of the exercise says that two equal roots, which is in the second question. Just I mentioned that the second case is very important. So they are saying that the equation is having two equal real roots. So whenever the equation is having two equal real roots, then the value of the discriminant, the value of b square minus 4ac is always 0. Then it's very easy to form an equation. I'll show you how to do this question and also this question. Let's move forward. I'm explaining third part of the question number 1 of 4.4 because the question covers both the formulas, so it will be good for your explanation. Okay. So first of all, the question says to find the nature of the roots. Okay. So how will we find the nature of the roots? With the help of discriminant. So first we'll write the value. So first we'll write the value of a, b and c from the equation. Then we'll find the discriminant b square minus 4ac. The value of b is minus 6, 4 and 4. The value of a is 2 and the value of c is 3. Then square of minus 6 is 36 minus 4 into 2 into 3, that is 24. And our discriminant is 12, which is greater than 0. And we know that if the discriminant is greater than 0, then we'll have distinct and real roots. Okay, the roots will be distinct, means the two different roots which will not be equal but will be real roots. Okay, moving forward, we know now if we have find the nature of the roots, and if the question says if the roots are real, which is real, then you have to find the value of x. Note that if the roots are not real, then you just have to enter the question here. Okay, then we'll put the value in the quadratic formula. X is equals to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. We'll put the value of b square is this. Then now here what we have done, I have taken the prime factors of 12. Okay, first we'll find the prime factor of 12, that is 2 into 2 into 3. Then a pair of 2 will come out, and we know that if 2 2's are under root, then 1 2 will be out. So 1 2 is out and 3 remains inside. Then from 6, 2 and 4, I have taken 2 as common because 2 is coming, because 2 is divisible by 6, 2 and 4. Then so I have taken 2 common. So if we divide 2 with 6, then it will give 3. If we divide 2 with 2 root 3, it will give root 3. And if 2 and 2 will be cancelled. And if we divide 4 with 2, it will give 2. I hope I'm clear. Then I have told you that in formula there is a sign plus minus. Then what will we do? Once we'll put the value with plus sign, and once we'll put the value with minus negative sign. So these two are the values. So here the second question of last exercise and its first part. So in the question they have given that the equation have equal roots, and if the equation have equal roots, we know that b square minus 4ac will be equals to 0, and there's a coefficient which is k, and we have to find the value of k. K here is not a variable. Okay, if students get confused. So we'll write the value of a, b and c from the equation. Then this statement has to be right. It's the most important part of the question. If you will not write the equation and do the whole question correctly, then also your marks will be deducted if you have not written this statement. What does the statement say? The statement says that b square minus 4ac is equals to 0 because the equation have two equal roots. Because we know that if any equation have two equal real roots, then the value of b square minus 4ac is 0. Then we have applied the formula for the value, and we have k square is equals to minus 24. Minus 24 was negative here. After going to RHS, it will be positive. Here the square was in k, then if it comes in RHS, it will convert into root. Then I have taken prime factors of 24, that is 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. We know that any number has to come out of the root, then it has to pair up. So here we are having only one pair of 2, then 1 2 is out, and other 2 and 3 remains inside, and we have k is equals to 2 upon 2 root 6. Plus minus 2 root 6. Why we have put in plus minus? Because if any number comes out of root, it's either negative or positive, because after squaring the number it's become positive. So if in any question you take out any number from the root, use plus minus, and if you not use, it depends on the checker that he will give you full marks or not, but if putting it, he will be safe. So that's it for today's video. If you want more videos, then please comment down. Till then, goodbye.